This is Lisa Marie. I'm sorry I put on my shoes. I hope that you are perfect, whole, and complete. Hope your day is beautiful, beautiful. Hope it's starting off beautiful. I know there's some places in the U.S., maybe a lot of places. I don't know if all the places. I'm going through a cold front, so I hope you stay warm and you get past it soon. I hope that maybe that weather will make you say, I'm going to do it. I'm going to move to a warmer climate. I'm going to move to something more paradise-like. I want that for you, and I think it's going to happen for you. And this is kind of like, if y'all can excuse me, I want to just fix my shoe. Please, please forgive me. But I think that it's a really good thing. You know what I noticed, like, I know being from New York, right? I had a family member, and I didn't do my shoe, y'all. I had a family member that every year she would say, you know, this is the last one time I'll be in New York. This is the last one time I'll be in New York. And because in the moment you through. That's when you start thinking of you're gonna finally do that thing, you're gonna finally make that move, right? You're going to finally do it. And every year she says it. But you know, I mean now it's what, 40 years later, and it's still, this is the last winter. You know, the thing is with those kind of things is one day it will be the last winter. And I don't mean because it'll be the end of your life as we know it, right? The life in the physical form. And I know that, you know, well, I like to study like what happens when you go to the afterlife and like how people think, or those NDIs, near-death experiences, when people actually went to the other side and came back. And a lot of times they go with a lot of regrets. Or I like that sometimes I remember reading stuff about how hospice nurses or caretakers, what they learn from those who are leaving their bodies that are deceased or about to die, and sometimes the regrets that they have. And from all those places, it's all very similar in some ways, right? And a lot of it is, I wish I had done the things that I said I wanted to do, as opposed to work all the time, or, you know, stay in situations that wasn't good for me, or some people say not spend enough time with the family, right? And I was just thinking, for a lot of us, we really don't move towards that thing because there's great fear. And I would now want to talk about the person who may be the person in that family or unit or connection that does move towards those deep callings, those deeper callings within them. They actually move. That's probably you. I might be talking to you. I might be talking to you on a scared side or fearful side, and I may be talking to you on the kind of, I'm going to go for the gusto. So take it how it resonates with you. Okay, so y'all, I'm going to turn off the chat. So hold on one sec, and then, because we want to do this, and then I will turn it back on later. So I really want to get this message out because somebody needs to hear it. Those people that keep saying they're going to go, they're going to do, they're going to have, the reason why they haven't done it is because they have great, great fear. And no amount of you talking, coaxing, begging and pleading for them to go or to do that thing, even for themselves, or to have that experience, they're not coming. They're not going to do it. They're not going to come along. They're not going to change. They're not going to wake up one day and it's done. Most people, for things that they really want, you don't have to convince them, especially adults. Now, children, you may have to tell them, you may say things like, you feel that way now, but you'll change your mind, and then they will. They'll grow into themselves and their newness. But there's a certain point with adults where they're probably not going to do it. But the thing is, you waste your time saying you could do it, stop being so sad, stop talking so negatively. They can't do it. And I know that's very, very hard for you to understand. They can't do it, they're not coming, they're not going to do it. And what happens is you wait sometimes, you pray, you hope, And then at some point you leave because you realize they're not coming. And it hurts you and it tears you apart. But you realize that a person who doesn't follow their intuition and their spirit, basically who doesn't follow the call of the divine, actually really wallows in a lot of misery and sadness. That they're not winning because they stayed. They're not even losing because they stayed. But they're losing because they want to do something that they're afraid to do. And that's a loss. And in life, it's okay. We all got to take a loss. But you can't take a loss for somebody else. You can't let your compassion, your love, your open heart make you not do the things that is important that God has called you to do. You can't not do those things. Because I feel we're all connected, right? And so you not doing something affects on this energetic, spiritual, high level, something else occurring in the other side of the world from not doing something too. At the same time, you fulfilling that destiny allows somebody energetically on the other side of the world to fulfill it. So in other words, you're looking for the people closest to you to come along, especially when they're telling you, I'm afraid, I'm fearful. When since there are energetic connections, energetic spiritual families, you might actually energetically be more connected to someone you don't even know. That your destiny is actually tied into someone's destiny that might be 5,000, 7,000, or 12,000 miles away from you. So the idea that I want to do this thing and I want others to do it with me, or I want others that want to do it with me, those people are, but you have to do it. Don't look to the ones always so close to you, or perceived, right, to be close to you. They're not you. You were the one that decided in some ways, and I mean before you got into the body, decided that you were going to go forth and you were going to see and you were going to seek and you were going to be that pioneer, right? You were going to be the one that was like, you know what, I can't just live a regular life. It kind of built into you. Some other people may have to try a little harder, and a lot of those people that do that, when they overcome their own fears, they can still succeed, they can still live a great life, and they can still fulfill their destiny as well. And there's others that they're so crippled with fear. And you hear it in everything they say, you hear it in their entire conversation. And what it does is actually it brings you down. Because I believe when spirit talks, I said this yesterday, it's not rational. There's no rationality in taking a chance and going for the gusto, right? And, I don't know, going out on a limb, if you will. It's not, it may not even be easy for you to do it, but I think it's a lot easier for you to do it because you were called to do it and you're ready to follow that call. It only becomes difficult for you to do what you're supposed to do when you are worried about other people doing it. When I had people that she was like, oh, I can't go because of my 99-year-old mom that is very well and doing great. Oh, I can't go because the rest of the family don't want to go, who are living their own separate lives and doing great. What I mean by that, it's not like, oh, you're saying we're going to leave our elders home? No, what I'm saying is, I'm talking about anything. I'm not talking about just traveling. I want you to know that. What I'm saying is, maybe if you went, maybe if you had a different mindset, maybe they would come. It's hard to sit where you don't want to be with people that's sitting where you want to go. Again, it's hard to sit with people places you don't want to be with people who don't want to go. Energetically, it's an imbalance. So sometimes I find when people say, oh, make excuses, it's just they say, I'm very afraid to do that. It takes me too much out of my comfort zone. What if I make a mistake? What if I can't return back to the person I was, the place I was, the things I was? What if I can't? That's what they're saying. They're saying, I'm not as brave as you, because that's what they feel. And just like the feelings get the blessings when it's something you want, the feelings still get the blessings when it's something you don't want as well. You have to let them be. You have to loosen them. And you have to move forward anyway. Because you, again, are affecting someone else that's on the other side of the world. When we understand energy better, we won't be so just connected to the ones that we were maybe born next to, so to speak, or from the same parent or so, or the same tribe, right? Same affiliation, same group, same community group, same church. We really need you to let that go. So let me tell you what you're doing. You're not abandoning them when they're not going and you want to go. You're actually giving it up to the divine. We have to really start focusing on the things that we can't control. And clearly you cannot control another person. You clearly cannot control another person. So you have to say, I can't control this other person, so I can only control myself. So I'm going to take myself and let them deal with themselves and the divine. And you send light, love, you pray, you meditate, but not too much, because you don't want to also be in someone else's karma or will. People also have their own. I think it's most difficult, I've seen it with parents too, when a child doesn't want to go to school and they're skipping school, or the child decides they don't want to go to college. And we take that so personally, be like, oh my God, but you're not going to be a success, you're going to be out on the streets. And I get it. Because you want you want the best for your child. But if they get to a certain age, you got to know that they really have their own trajectory and they're very much protected. If you follow, I believe, your calling, and you do it with enthusiasm and joy and happiness and excitement and even adventure, with that kind of energy, it can't help but influence and inspire the ones that's closest to you. The other thing, and I said this before, sometimes as a seer, right, a person who sees ahead, a visionary, you're actually helping them because you're seeing what they cannot and you're moving towards that. And it was set up that way so that when those that are ready, the ones that you love the most and closest to you, they will have a place. But I also want to talk about in relationships. Like, a lot of you are waiting for the person to wake up, waiting for the person to realize that you're the one. You're wasting your time. They have a particular journey that they have to walk through. They have a particular journey that they have to walk through. And you are sitting there waiting for them. And you got a whole life. There's more love for you. There's more opportunities. There's more things to learn. And you are sitting there hoping that one day they'll get it and see it. You don't deserve that. You deserve to have what you want right now. The one thing I learned being 58 is that there's always something better for you. There's always something for you. How about that one? Just let's start there. There's always something for you that's waiting. There's always something even better. And you are wasting your time because the Most High said, I want you to be abundant always. I want you to feel good always. I want you to be happy always. And you're waiting for someone else to get it together so that you could be happy. That could be maybe you're married. That could be somebody you broke up with. Or that could be even a best friend or a girlfriend or a sister friend. They're not coming either. And the sad part is they may never, ever come. It's not that they're not coming. It's that you left. And you left on a spiritual level. We always do. We always leave on a spiritual level first. And the more that you can separate from these people, the ones that I know, we're talking about lovers and close friends, the more that you can actually go to your higher place. You're not meant to travel the road with everyone that you've ever known before, forever. You're not. You're absolutely not. You're meant to figure out your own soul's purpose and then follow it and then lead it and then guide it. It's your responsibility to do that on a spiritual level. And it has to be done. And it has to be done. And it's going to be done. I want you to know that it's actually going to be done. You gotta let people find their own way and have their own regrets and learn from those things and make their own decisions and live with those decisions. Just like you have to allow yourself to do it as well. There's so much life for you left, so much more to do, and you know what? So much more to learn. A lot of people don't think, they think after a certain age you're not going to learn much more, or they think you're not going to learn much more that's going to be significant to your life. In other words, they think sometimes that they're not going to learn much more that's going to change them on the deepest level. That's always available to you, to become another person. It's not like, you know how we get certain age and we take our yearly trips and we go see the statue in Italy, in Rome, or whatever, one of the statues. And yeah, that information is great. We're so glad we have it. It would make great dinner conversation. But it's not going to change you in a way from the core. Some people are good with that new information. The best new information is the one that reveals the new you over and over and over again. I think we take the dissolving, the releasing, the breakups, and I mean even from family members, the moving away from, as if something happened that wasn't right. That this is wrong, this is bad, this is sad, this is a problem. When in actuality, it's the most normal thing. It's the ending to the new beginning. It's the gateway to more. Nothing stays still. Even water evaporates. Nothing stands still. Somebody say, oh, standing water. Well, be careful of standing water, right? Because it attracts mosquitoes, right? Water don't stand still forever. It actually evaporates. It's going to evaporate. It's going to go somewhere else. It's going to change into a gas, into another form. And so are you, if you allow it. If you allow it, the possibilities. And I feel like in order to get those places, you're going to get to a point in your life where the outwardly things that you do are not going to be as intriguing as the inwardly things that you do. That means those revelations, that self-actualization, that knowing thyself energy, that one is going to be so much more fulfilling than the trip and the cars, and the clothes and the things. I get emotional because I know the divine is really speaking through me, and I know the divine is correct. Those things that we love, they are vehicles to let us know that we've changed on an inner level, and that's why we're receiving them. So all the trips are great because they're also part of a spiritual journey, if that's the journey that you chose or the journey that you desire. I'm not downing if you go 1,000 places and travel. I live in a whole other country from the country I lived in. I'm actually encouraging it, if anything. But I'm telling you, as long as when you're moving there, you're just understanding, I'm just moving with spirit. And since spirit is everywhere, I want to hear it in a different way. Because if you're looking for spiritual sustenance or spiritual openness or spiritual awareness, right, and you go to different places to look for it, they're all just going to give you the same answer in another language, text, ideology, philosophy. There's nothing new under the sun, and everything is within you. We want to get to a point where we're no longer looking for anything. We found it, it's already with us. It goes wherever we go. And guess what happens when you do that? You actually enjoy the places now from another perspective. Not as needing these places to give you something that you don't have on a spiritual level, but to understand that the places are a reflection of where you are on a spiritual level. And the minute you do that, those places that you're most uncomfortable with, like say, oh, I don't want to live here anymore. I don't want to live in Brooklyn anymore. I don't want to live in Cali anymore. Let's just say wherever it is. Now that becomes, because I'm not living here anymore. I'm not, that part of me is changed. The heart and the opening and the understanding of myself has changed. So this is why this place is no longer for me. It's because vibratorily I'm somewhere else. So now you're matching your energy instead of thinking that you're going to go somewhere and find your energy. I have to find my tribe, I have to find my people, I have to find, well, they're kind of the illusion because they're the thing that you create. They're not the hat, they're the rabbit that you pull out the hat. It's an illusion. But it's an illusion that you create and you get to create it. So you're focused on the rabbit instead of the hat. Because the hat holds the key. The hat, I can pull, with my mind, the way I think, feel, the work I've done, I can decide when I dig into that hat what's going to be pulled out. So I'm not relying on those things. I'm relying on myself. So now those places, again, is a reflection of who I am, not me going over there to reflect on who I am. The reflection of who I am comes first. The places come second. It's just the physical manifestation or the physical realization of who and what you are. I hope that you are following this. I know you are. We might feel like we want a life where we're always deciding, always wanting, always desiring. Hey y'all, I got a call. I want to thank you. Hey y'all, I got a call. I want to thank you for waiting. That was the message. I hope you received it, and I'll see you again soon. I got 3 more consultations on the website, link in the description box. Book it, $50 for an hour instead of $100. Love you with all my heart. Peace and blessings.